Welcome to another episode of NMB Takoyaki Party. This is episode number 4.
And the return of DJ Soymilk.
Alright, way to announce your return. I was gonna say,
let's do it over.
I'm your host, Osaka Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I wanted to extend a warm welcome to our co-host returning from Japan, DJ. But you messed it up, so I'm not.
I'm sorry.
Not even gonna say her name anymore. DJ Soymilk.
Okay.
So we're Takoyaki Party. We're an NMB 48 podcast. We talk about NMB 48 to the international community. We'll tell you about news. I do a lot of summaries of Matome sites because those are cool.
You can read them.
Those are cool. I mean, like, it's a good source of news. Like, especially news that's not really news.
Yeah, like fan news.
Yeah,
Kini Naru.
Like, oh man, like this thing happened on Google+. But most of all, I want to say that, like, our podcast, like, my goal for this podcast is I want to make our community super smart and super cool. Like, I want people to know what's going on with the teams, like, who their Oshiman is. If they talk to a Japanese fan, like, I want them to, like, know as much as a Japanese fan. If they talk to the girls, like, at handshake events,
Oh man, stories later.
You won't just say, like, oh, you're so cute. I want you to be like, oh, I liked your appearance here, or I like this joke that you did here. I want you to know these things. I want you to be prepared. And, like, I want you to be prepared more than, like, any of the other, like, other
You're
groups'
like a dad.
fans. Like, I want you to know, man.
You sound like a dad preparing their child for the world.
Son,
let's sit down.
I want the community to be so good. So good. I don't know how to follow that up. I just want to say I want the community to be good. So that's the point of this podcast. Of course, I also want to help establish the community. I know there's some people that say, I've been following your blog since like 2000. I don't know, when did I start my blog? 11, 12?
I don't know. I've been following it though.
Yeah.
I followed it that's how I found out. Oh, story time. That's how I found out who Joe was, because I was like creeping on hardcore on his blog and I read like every post and I was like super obsessed. Not like super obsessed, but I would read every post. And I was like, oh my god, this is my favorite blogger. And then I met him in real life and I was like, oh.
Yeah, No, but I mean, there are people, like, after I started this podcast, some people were like, hey, I've been following your blog. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. How did you follow me for 2 or 3 years? So, I want, like, the community to be aware of itself so we can grow, like, together as a team.
Okay.
So...
I agree. Let's do it.
Talk to us. You can talk to us on our Twitter, ask comments. You can talk to other people. I mean, I'm sure they're your friends too. Overall, I just want you guys to talk. I want this community to be good. Okay. Corrections from the last show.
Which I was not on. But I listened to it.
Yeah. Our homies from Basugatsu Bakuhatsu.
I love that name.
I do.
It's ridiculously long. It's like the song like Todo Kansuke Todo Kumono or no, I'm sorry, never mind.
That was so bad.
I'm just thinking of it from memory. I've never actually sat down and tried to read what the song is called. I just call it TT.
Right, Todeke Mono something whatever, right?
I don't know.
We'll look it up later. Anyway, so last episode we had Basugatsu Bakuhatsu. Somebody said that they wanted to see their reactions, or they want me to get them again so I could talk about their reactions to like the team ends or whatever stage they watch. We're gonna do one better, man. We're gonna have a live commentary.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
We're gonna have to work it out though. Anyway, so corrections from last episode. I said some TV shows were national when they were actually only in Kanto. Of course, I kind of consider that national already because the population of Kanto is the same size as the population of California.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, pretty big deal. Anyway, so there's a lot of HKT shows, there's a lot of SKE shows that are broadcast in Kanto and maybe also broadcast in their home area, maybe with a delay of a month or something. I forgot why I was even talking about TV shows and national.
I don't remember either.
Of course you don't remember. You weren't even there for the first time. How can you remember?
Well, I listened to it.
Yeah. Anyway, so those are all the corrections from our last show, I believe. That's it.
That's it.
That's all our corrections. I think we were
Wow.
pretty right. I'm pretty sure we were wrong.
Perfect show without me.
Well, I mean, like...
Just kidding. I make it perfect.
Oh, boy. Well, it also wasn't like we didn't report any news. Can't be wrong with the news if we don't report any of it.
Oh, that's true.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our mailbag.
Mailbag.
Our theme of mail.
What should we call it?
Basically, I don't know.
Oh, I'll think of a name.
Female bag.
Female bag? You wish.
That sounds so bad.
That was,
So basically, we asked people to email us something based on the theme that we proposed, and I believe the one we proposed in episode 3 was, what is your favorite song? Right?
Yes.
Okay. So we got a couple emails. Miss Soymilk, would you like to read one of them?
Oh, crap. You read the first one.
Alright, I'll read one from our friend. Where's she from? Where's Convenience from?
I don't know. That's convenience.
I think it's Malaysia. I don't know. She's gonna be mad at me now. Anyway.
Thank you from wherever you are.
Anyway, Convenience writes to us. She says, Dear DJs of the Week, since I forgot to address Jonichi Highway the last time, I decided to give a general greeting this time so I won't miss out anyone. So hi DJs.
Hello.
There you go. I was waiting for that.
Oh, okay. Hello. Thank you for writing.
She says, my favorite NMB song is Mikazuki no Senaka. I really, really like it because it makes me nostalgic. Not just because it's a B-side song of NMB's first single, but the song itself sounds bittersweet. I really like that kind of feel in a song. Whenever I listen to it, I really think of how far NMB has come since they started. Watching the performances for the song are great too because the girls always perform it with thankful hearts and bright smiles. Another thing I absolutely love is how in big concerts like AKB Request Hour, NMB Request Hour, and NMB's Anniversary, it is always performed only by first-gen NMB, who up until now are still my favorite NMB generation. So yeah, that's why it's my favorite song.
Thank you. I agree. I really like that song.
Thank you, Convenience.
I also like it because Sayaka and Milky, they have like a hand-holding moment. They're a wonderful duo.
Oh,
but it's a nice song.
Oh boy.
It's okay.
Is that the same song that they sang for first anniversary? Do you know?
Probably. I mean, it's kind of like their song, you know? It's oh, what do I even...
Well, I just remember after first anniversary, and there were all those scandals and everything, right? And I think it was this song that they sang, and everyone was all crying.
Oh no, that was
no?
the I'll wait for you. Boku wa materu.
Oh, okay. So I'm completely wrong, which happens often. So corrections from this podcast.
Already made though. I don't like that song as much. It's more ballady. Okay. It's not as heart. I don't know. It's like heartfelt, but it's not like a fun kind of heartfelt. It makes me sad.
I also want to say that in Haru Con it was performed by Team B2.
Yay!
New B2.
Oh, new B2.
New B2 because they wanted to introduce all the new teams.
Oh, I see.
This is before they, the final shuffle, right? Because they announced the shuffle, everyone was unsure when it was going to happen. So I think each of the teams did some songs. I know Team N did Koko Tenshi or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. I have the DVD right next to me, but I don't want to pick it up off the floor. But yeah, so Team B2 performed. New Team B2 performed it at Haru Con. So thank you for your email, Convenience.
Thank you.
Now it's your turn to read.
Should I read the whole thing? The one from Snowman?
Is it short?
No. Well, none of them are short, though. Because you guys are such great fans. Anyway, Snowman says, it was really hard to narrow it down to any particular song because NMB has such a great catalog. For example, Nandayon and Idol is a song that perfectly represents NMB, I totally agree. And where they come from, and Seishun no Lap Time always gets the crowd hyped up. I don't know if I have a favorite song I like to listen to, but I do have a favorite song I like to see performed, and that song is Kitegawa Kenji. Let's see. The crowd always gets into it, it's easy to copy some of the moves, and the improv sections always add something new to each performance. I agree.
Okay.
I agree a lot.
I'll
just keep it short.
I thought you were going to read a salutation, like, hello, Osaka Joe, DJ Soymilk. I was like, yeah, that's my name.
That's my name. Well, yeah, but I know my name. Don't wear it out.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, when I listen to some of the goofy radio shows or the Japanese ones, and they write in, they'll say like, they'll make funny names up for the people.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be like, hello, Queen Sayaka, old lady Nana, and the two other comedians. That's what they'll say. I thought that was cool. Anyway, I don't expect them to know us that much, or that level of detail anyway. So Kitagawa Kenji,
it's actually my least favorite NMB song. Like NMB A side, like for their 10 A sides.
Dude, she just trashed your opinion, Craig.
I know. No. I like seeing it perform too. I like watching the performance, but as a song is what I mean. As a song, I don't like something. There's something about the way it sounds I don't like.
I thought. Like the lyrics are really goofy.
They're goofy. It's very NMB.
The outfits are really gaudy. Was that the same music video that was filmed by Nina? I forget her name.
Mikagawa?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's really colorful. There's like a giant bench they're sitting on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, I also like Kitagawa Kenji as a performance song.
Yeah,
especially when it's in the rotation for the theater.
Oh yeah.
Because of the improv
and that's what you mean,
stuff.
the medley.
Yeah. For example, Team B2, they had it in there. And there's a part where they have to freeze and do poses, right?
Yes.
And then afterwards is an improv dance section. And I guess Ume-chan wasn't really familiar with it.
Oh, sure, she didn't know it was improv?
No, so when they did the freeze pose, right? She thought it was the improv section.
Oh
no! And I don't know if you've seen B2 stages, but you know how they have that white cloak on?
Yes.
How they put that white cloak on? Yeah, so she was flapping somebody's cloak during the freeze section.
Oh no!
And all the B2 members were like, what are you doing, right? So in future performances of Kitagawa Kenji, they would start flapping her dress during the improv section. As revenge. So it's cool stuff like that. They also tend to be pretty creative. For example, I was watching Aika's birthday show the other day.
Of course you were.
For research purposes. And when it was it was her birthday, so for the improv or for the freeze pose section, they all knelt down, and then so Aika was the only one standing. He's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
That's cute.
So definitely think Kitagawa Kenji is a fantastic song to see being performed.
Mm-hmm.
Nande In Idol is pretty good too.
Oh man, I love that song.
Oh, man.
It was one of the first NMB songs I heard, because the first NMB concert I watched was the first anniversary concert, and that was I don't know, the second or the second or third song in the concert. So it's one of the first ones, and you have them just going crazy, and then they all line up and they fall over like dominoes. I was like, oh, this group is good. Yeah. This group is good.
Yeah. Also, it was one of the only songs, well, at least back then, that was not Sayaka and Milky centered.
Yeah, I think it's still one of the few songs that's not Sayaka and Milky centered.
But it's really cool they did actually center it at third anniversary.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's also a really cool song. I remember I did it at karaoke. I think you left already.
Yeah, I did.
And no one else knew the lyrics, and it's kind of hard to do two people at the same time.
I know the lyrics.
Yeah.
But not as good as you. When you were doing the rap to Candy Pop, I was like, nope.
No, I know that song, so.
I love that song, but I don't know it.
I was messing up all the time with Nande In Idol. It was really bad. I'm just like, oh, God. Okay, and then, third email comes from Giraffe. Our boy Giraffe, dude.
You can't read the whole thing, though, because it's super long, because Giraffe is super, super sweet.
Yeah, well.
So kind.
Okay, well, I'll do this. He says, this might sound confusing, but because of these reasons, which he listed before, it is hard to actually choose one favorite, so I'll choose 3. Well, he said choose 1. Sorry, I'll do it quickly, I promise. Well, that's what she said. Teppen Totande is really powerful. The audience participation makes it very fun. Also, I am a sucker for medleys. During the solo segment of the song, there is a medley of dance moves that consists of dance moves from their previous releases. I could feel the history during that part. I might be straying. Oh, we'll keep going.
Sorry.
We'll keep going. We'll finish all 3. Because he said he'll do it quickly.
Okay.
I might be straying a bit too far from the original question, but my most recent favorite music video is Ibiza Girls dance version. The main reason being bikinis. I don't know how many times I've watched that video. Alright, man.
Dude, but no, I agree. Because see, that's the thing. I'm not into bikinis necessarily, but I like the colors that they use because it's super colorful and they're super happy and it's wonderful.
Alright, well, I'll keep going. We'll get to that. Did anyone else notice that Yabushita had bandages on her knees?
I didn't know that's that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't watch it multiple times.
Yeah, that's true.
Finally, I'm probably breaking the rules due to the fact that this is an NMB 48 podcast, but I really enjoy SKE 48's darkness.
I enjoyed it
too.
But NMB did... No, NMB didn't do it, I'm sorry.
No,
NMB
does their own songs.
Yeah.
I think that's actually pretty cool. He also says this song's on my workout playlist, so I give you props for working out. You know,
put some Kamo na Geeks on your workout playlist.
Get them gains.
Them gains.
Squats and oats. And
oh my god, I was talking to this guy yesterday, and it was like, it was like 11:30. I'm like, oh, I'm eating a Kit Kat, and he's like, girls shouldn't eat this late. What are you trying to do? Get those gains? I'm like, excuse me. Anyway, sorry. I'm not trying to get those gains though. I just enjoy Kit Kats. Dude, Japan has the coolest Kit Kat flavors. They're not just chocolate.
You know, those are mostly made for tourists, right?
I know, but they're so good. But I found one at Don Quixote. I got pumpkin pudding flavor. It was good.
Oh, okay.
Very fall.
Okay. Anyway, so we'll go back. Teppen Totande. I actually like the song because, like, yeah, the audience participation, right? Like, they will, you know, Makahende, and then, like, they'll like, go to the crowd and, like, oh, you want to scream too? And, you know, I actually like the fact that NMB has a lot of those songs, like, a lot of audience interactive audience songs.
I agree.
So, Teppen Totande is one of them. Also, they also usually do it either before or after Ha.
Yeah, so they have the costumes, usually.
Those cool costumes.
Those are very nice costumes.
And then Ibiza Girl dance version. I wonder why you watched it. Alright. Not too hard to see past that.
Sayane.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I can see.
Oh my goodness.
Ever. She's wonderful.
I forget which other, like... I remember there was a couple, like, dance versions I liked, and they were in bikinis. I remember that. But I remember not, like, I was just like, okay, they're in bikini, but I really liked, like, the color, like, yeah, the colors, or, like, how everyone's so hyped up and stuff.
Yeah, like, the dance version for Bokura no Eureka, because they're all in blue and white, it was actually kind of boring to watch, I thought. Like, they all kind of look the same, but the colors gets me hyped. Anyway.
What's that one AKB song? Oh, Manatsu no Sounds Good, where everybody's...
Yeah, and they're all in white. I'm like,
Yeah.
Nobody buys white bikinis because you can see through them when they get wet. I'm like, I don't know anybody who wears white bikinis. Anyway. No, really, like, if they get wet, usually, if it's like a cheap one from Target or something, you can see through it. I'm like, nobody wants this.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Well, it's the truth. Okay, shall we move on?
I know it's the truth, but still. And then, man, you can't be bringing up SKE. No, but like I said in the preamble, like, oh, we want to pump up like NMB. You know, like, yeah, you can like the other groups. I'm not gonna be like jumping down your throat. But... Oh crap! My computer's running out of battery. I have to go get my charger. Be back in like 2 minutes. Okay.
I'm sorry.
She is obviously not prepared.
It's still in my suitcase.
Go get it.
I'm going by.
So, yeah, I like to concentrate mostly on NMB 48 stuff. You know, no offense to any of the other groups. I can offend other groups if I wanted to. I'm really good at that, apparently. So that'll wrap it up for our emails. Our next email theme will be, what is your favorite stage? And one reason why I came up with that is because on the first podcast episode we did, somebody had a comment that said that their favorite performance was Idol no Yoake, and I totally missed that, and I feel really bad. So, next theme, just tell us your favorite stage, which team performed it, and yeah, send us comments. You can send us emails, Tumblr, whatever, like I said before, Twitter. So, keep that in mind. Send us your emails. I like emails.
Yay. Me too. Or Tumblr messages.
Yeah. Oh, I just said that.
Oh, oops.
Pay attention. No,
I was plugging in my charger.
I know. I'm just joking. Relax. You relax. You're all excited because you came back from Japan. You're like,
I'm so excited. Let's talk about it. But first we have to do news. Let's talk about news.
News. All right, news. Here comes the news. Where's my document?
Wait, what have we even been oh, never mind. Sorry.
You mean, what have we been talking about?
Well, because it's like, we've already been like 20 minutes.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get to it. People said the longer our podcast is, the better, surprisingly.
Oh, they're so sweet.
Surprisingly, I got really tired of listening to myself talk.
Okay,
Alright,
anyway.
So, moving on to news.
Guess what started this week? Or not this week. Recently. It was...
I have no idea where you're going with them.
755!
Well, they didn't start it, they started using it.
Well,
so 755,
that's kind of the same thing.
755, Nanagogo.
Like, Google Plus started way before AKB started using it, but did it really?
Well, we'll talk.
Did anybody know about Google Plus until AKB had it?
Well, I mean, people were done. People really wanted invites, and they got on it. They're like, "Well, it's fine, but like, none of my friends are on Google Plus."
Nobody uses Google Plus besides AKB stuff.
And then there's all the YouTube integration issues, but that is another topic.
Right. So
we want to talk about Nanagogo. Go for it.
What about Nanagogo?
755 Nanagogo.
Oh, that's what it's called? Oh, shoot, that is what it's called. That makes sense.
Oh my goodness. What are we
Shoot,
gonna do with
I'm
you?
sorry.
You just came back from Japan. You don't even know your numbers.
Anyway, so, the thing about 755 is that obviously almost every member has one.
What
but
is
the ones,
it?
What is it? It's
Yes.
it's a question and answer kind of website. It's kind of like Ask FM in America. You send questions, you make an account, and then you send questions to the members, and they go through it and answer it. So they're really short questions. You can't ask like these long things or make like long confessions. You can just be like, oh, what's your favorite color? Or, oh, what are your plans for next week? Or whatever. Those kind of questions.
And there's like an upvote system too, right?
Yeah, you can upvote it, kind of like Reddit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's a cool little website, and I'm glad that the 48 group has it, because that's what I do on the comment section of Google+. I'll ask questions. I would be like, oh, Ripopo, what's your favorite kind of okonomiyaki? And obviously they never get answered, because it's like, they're not really reading through their questions or their comments to see if people are asking them questions.
They do when they have Q&A sessions.
Yeah, but that's the only time they do it. But
Yeah.
755 is like an unlimited, all the time Q&A session.
It's also not a website. I think it's like a mobile app.
Yeah, so I think if you don't have a Japanese phone, you can't ask questions.
Right.
Which is sad.
Anyway.
Just another thing the foreign fans can't participate in.
Boo, but it's okay because we have the best community.
That's right, because we have Yuki Soymilk.
So, with the start of 755, or Nanagogo, there was a lot of controversy. First of all, Murakami Ayaka from Team M was like really mad, right? She's actually a huge Idol fan. And for some reason, like, Idol fans are all about equality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't favor one fan over the other. So she got all mad. She was on Nanagogo, and she's like, oh my god, like, people are just going to get mad because I'm going to answer certain questions, and then people are going to come up to me at handshake events and ask me, why didn't you answer my question?
She's a good point.
And stuff. So she just spent, like, most of Nanagogo just talking about that. And then she said, hey, you want me to answer your questions? Then come to a handshake event. It's like, oh, damn, dude. Shots fired.
Indeed.
Ma-chun was actually pretty outspoken on her Google Plus. Like, what the heck is Nanagogo? Like, oh, I know, it's go Nanago, like a haiku. Stuff like that. So she was pretty salty about it.
I think Yuipon was salty about it too. She was like, oh, people are on 755? I'm not though. Talk to me here.
Yeah, I don't think Sayaka is on 755 either.
No, but Milky is, and Milky gets all these weird questions. Like, I only read a few of them, but they're like really intrusive.
Well,
like, poor girl.
Yeah, everyone gets weird questions. Speaking of weird questions, like, Ri-chan was like, she had some interesting answers. Or answered some interesting questions, which may have led to interesting answers.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, hey, did you have a boyfriend? She's like, yeah, I had a boyfriend. It's like, everyone's like, what the heck? Like, oh, have you gone out with somebody before? And she's like, yeah, I have. And people, would getting, like, really suspicious. Like, oh my god, dude, what's Ri-chan doing?
That's not cool. She's like, it was before NMB. Like, whatever. I'm not gonna hide it. I think that's cool.
Well, she was like, what, 14 when she joined NMB?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, like, I'm just saying that she caused, like, all these, like, controversy and stuff. And it was actually so bad that her mom yelled at her. Like, oh, stop doing that, yeah. I think she posted about it on Nanagogo. Like, hey, man, like, stop inciting the fans. Like, that's not cool. So, Team N also has their own Nanagogo. Like, they all, like, joined a specific room or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Team M group. Yeah, Nanago. And that's cool.
That's very, Team N, like...
Yeah, Team M has a really strong bond. Like, I think out of all the teams, Team M is the closest. Yeah, they're just the closest with each other.
Well, I mean, they also got shuffled at least. But...
Yeah, that's true. With Team M, only 2 members left and 3 members came in.
Yeah, well,
So,
I mean,
you know,
they should have more members, but I don't think they like for example, Honori. But anyway,
yeah.
There's some people that really took to Nana Go-Go, for example, on Team M, or yeah, both on Team M, huh? Yukitsun and Saradan.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a lot of messages on Nana Go. Like they had 3,000, 4,000, 5,000
Dang,
like, within the
girls.
first week, and I'm like, oh man. I mean, it's cool that they're finding an avenue for their social media, I guess.
Yeah, because neither Yuki or Sara are very popular to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Yuki's okay, but I feel like she'd be one of the team members who would be forgotten if you're trying to make, if you're trying to list everybody in Team M, you probably wouldn't remember Azuma Yuki.
I do.
I remember her. She's cute.
Did you just call her a Team Ember?
Team Ember?
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Team Ember. Let's use that for now.
DJ Soymilk used Ember. It was not very effective. So that's it for Nana Go-Go as far as news. There are some concert appearances, rock festival appearances, I guess, or festival appearances.
Yeah, they're music festivals, and they weren't idol festivals either. They were like real music. I mean, like there was like rock music.
They were like real artists there, not just idol artists, right?
Yeah. So it's funny. One of them was going on when I was in Japan. It was near me. I could have gone to it had I bought tickets, but they were like $70. Anyway. So the festivals were Koyabu Sonic and Inazuma Rock.
Yeah. Koyabu Sonic, I think was... I mean, if you look at the set list, it's pretty... nothing really special.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Like
A-sides.
For Koyabu Sonic, they had this... They had like a... I mean, I want to say they had the standard 16 people, but like we don't really know who the 16 people Senbatsu will be. But they had 16 people in their Senbatsu. And one of the special things about Inazuma Rock is that it took place in Shiga-ken, or Shiga Prefecture, and because of that, they brought all their Shiga Prefecture hometown girls.
Right, Shiga is pretty close to Osaka. From Shiga City to Osaka, it's like an hour away. So there are 3 members in NMB from Shiga, and that's Kei, Richan, and Koko-chan, the draftee.
So that's pretty cool.
So the 3 of them got to join other Senbatsu members. Well, I mean, Kei's already Senbatsu, but Richan and Koko-chan got to join Senbatsu members and perform in Inazuma Rock Festival in their hometown.
That's also why when we talk about our featured member, we always like to bring up their hometown.
Yeah,
I'm telling you guys, hometown's important.
It is. Like, we'll get to that later, because there's a member today whose hometown is important.
Yes, everybody's hometown is important, except
That's
Osaka.
True.
Well, I mean, that's still kind of important.
Yeah.
And that because it's NMB, it's actually important when they're not from Osaka too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that crazy girl Ririka from Tokyo.
Oh, Ririka, she's cool. Anyway, so besides the rock festivals, there was another music thing released, and that was Haru Con.
Yeah,
it was an AKB fest concert though.
No, it wasn't.
It was like a 48 groups.
What happened was that I think each group had their own concert.
Right, and then request hour was at the end.
Or was it the request? I don't know how the AKB side dealt with it, but basically each of the groups had their own concert. So there was an HKT concert, there was an NMB concert, there's an SKE concert. They're all separate from each other. Yeah.
So the NMB concert was really, really good, and I highly recommend watching it. I only watched like a couple of performances. Joe's watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I watched it actually.
He was raving about it.
Dude, it is so good.
I've never seen him so hyped about an NMB thing.
Yeah, dude, I watched it multiple times. First of all, Kamonegi's in the beginning. Like that was one of the most hype entrances I've ever seen.
It was the dance version, right?
Yeah, well, it was like a special like remix version, right? So they had the composer or producer of the song on stage, right? He's just like jamming on the piano.
Oh wow.
And then he's like playing these like beat and he's trying to get people pumped. He's like, yeah, NMB 48, and like the crowd's like kind of like, oh man, they're like kind of cheering, but they're like, man, who's this old guy like rocking out on the piano or on the keyboard? Like I just want to see the girls. And then like because of that, like it kind of gets you like a little more hype. You're like, oh
yeah, it makes you curious.
So finally they all come out, right? It's like just oh man, like the Senbatsu come in the front, and you're like, oh dude, like they're finally here. They do their little dancing in the beginning. And then then they hit like another like note or something, right? And then like the spotlight shines at the set, like not the center of the arena. There's like 2 different stages, right? And so you see like all the rest of like NMB, like non-Senbatsu, like come to the center, and then there's like this like rotating. Oh man, it's just so sick, so sick.
Yeah, check it out.
And then like at the back you have what's it called? You had because all the teams needed to like all the teams did an individual performance as part of the Kamonegi song, like a dance performance. So like while Team N was like joining each other, they had Shu and like Uka just standing there in the back of the stage, like looking all badass, and just like. And that's just Kamonegi. There's like also a lot of really good songs, a lot of uniqueness to all the songs too. So they didn't just perform the song as it is. They'd add some twist to it, I guess. Well, for some songs. There's also acoustic Hatsu, Koi no Playbo.
Those are some older songs, or not older, but not performed very often.
I'd say the low light was the Shinkigeki, like in the middle. Like that was just really long, and it wasn't even that good either. Okay, I don't know if you know what that is.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you know the comedy thing, the Yoshimori Theater comedy thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they put one in the middle of the concert, and it was just like really long and stuff. And I'm just like,
And Prom no Koibito, which Milky should be in with Sayane.
No, it's too good with food.
Yeah, if you've never seen Prom no Koibito performed, it's a partner dance. All the girls in the song pair off, and the centers are Sayane and Fuchan. So Sayane and Fuchan are partner dancing.
Yeah.
And it should be Sayane and Milky partner dancing.
Well, I mean, also the Prom no Koibito like music video was really weird. It was that one where they were all detectives and stuff.
Yeah, it was a weird music video.
So when I was like, oh yeah, I guess it's an alright song. When I see it perform this, I was just like, oh man, like this dance is really cool and like everyone looks really fierce. I really like the senbatsu they chose for that too. A lot of like dansei types.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of boyish, manly ones.
Boyish, manly.
And Fuchan.
And Fuchan.
So yeah, highly recommend that concert. Check it out if you haven't. I know I'm gonna let DJ Soymilk borrow my copy.
Yay.
So she can see how glorious it is.
Alright, what else is happening?
Last episode of Gaining is this week.
Boo!
Unfortunately. Yeah, I know. I just realized, like, one thing I was, like, going over, like, the episodes. I'm like, man, Joe only appeared in, like, the first few episodes. And she was really good, too, so I'm just
That's a shame.
We did get Just Blaze, though. But, unfortunately, Gaining will be ending this week.
What other shows?
Hopefully the reviews will be good. I mean...
Hopefully. I can see a season 4.
Well, I mean, that's what we said after season... Well, I don't know. I want to see a season 4. Or at least, like, I want them to have another variety show.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, like, Gaining-esque. But, yeah. Also, last week, Fuchan was on Rena So Senkyo.
Confession from Fuchan.
Doing a confession. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Let's see, what else is being broadcast? We have some grip strength tests on YouTube. Like a while ago they were doing those write this word in English on features on YouTube, or write this kanji on YouTube. Well, they'll get like a group of like 4 or 5 members and they'll ask them to do whatever the task is.
Yeah.
And right now they're playing this grip strength game. It's like this little machine and you have to squeeze it to see how strong your grip is.
Yeah, so you can check those out.
They're kind of funny.
Yeah, they make funny faces when they squeeze the grip machine. The dynamometer, that's what it's called.
Let's see. Also on TV, Panasonic, the company, is doing commercials featuring Sayaka and Milky. When I was in Japan, I thought it was only Sayaka doing the campaign, but when I was in Japan, I saw Milky on one of the commercials because I would watch TV and stuff.
Yeah. But she did get like a solo like newspaper photo.
Right. And on the Panasonic commercial, if it's the Sayaka one, it's there's a song playing in the background, and that's a song that Sayane is singing herself. They wrote the song for her. So it's really nice. And when I was walking around in Japan in the train stations, there was one at one train station near the Pokemon Center, because I went to the Pokemon Center. That train station, there's this giant poster on the like going along the elevator, and it's the Sayane Panasonic ad. So it's her standing there in a kitchen filled with Panasonic stuff. It's very cute. It was a very nice photo shoot that they did.
I think like Panasonic actually does home design. I think that was what
That's what the campaign is for anyway.
They don't do home design in the US though.
Yeah, here it's like appliances.
Yeah,
like
have a TV and a refrigerator. Okay, what else is in news? There are some changes, some pretty significant changes to Team N stage. One of
But that's
them.
just because Sayane hasn't been there.
Well, I mean, like she isn't normally there. These are
That's
still
true.
some pretty big changes. For example, Hajimete no Hoshi, like when it originally debuted with the old Team N, like it was known for being it had all I guess the popular ones from Team N.
Yeah, the all stars. So it was like Sayane, Milky, Kei, Machun, etc., etc. And there's only 7 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Akarine.
I think
So it was
Lemon
like the
was one of them.
7. Yeah, Lemon was there too.
Right.
But
and then when the new team came, like okay, it's still kind of strong, but
we
then
have Uka.
yeah, they added Uka. I forget who else they added. Anyway, oh, they had Keila in there. I remember that.
Yeah.
And of course they had Sayaka, Keiichi, Akarin. But when they were out, like it would just be like Akarin and like 3 Kenkyusei, and it's like, what the heck? What happened to the star power of this song?
Right.
So like they started shuffling some girls in there. So Rika was part of it. Aika was in it. Ripopo was in it. Yuri was in it.
And that's cool.
Yes, and that is
Well,
that is cool.
I mean, it's nice that they're using the real members to, I guess I should say the promoted members.
Yeah.
Instead of just Kenkyusei, because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to Kenkyusei, but I mean, you see like Megumin, you see Dururin, and it's just like,
Yeah, it's like, and plus the people at the stage, they're going because they want to see Team N and Team N members. So seeing Kenkyusei, it's like, they're nice, and I really like the Kenkyusei, but I came here for Team N kind of feeling, probably.
Yeah. It's like, I want to see, like, and one other important part is that the next song, what is it, Hyakunen something?
Hyakunen Metoru Konbini? No.
Konbini, why is it?
Konbini, oh my god, I'm sorry. I mixed up with another AKB song that was like 100 meter Konbini.
Okay, well, anyway, whatever that song is, like, they also get, because it starts right after Hajimete no Hoshi, so those members actually get to appear then. So pretty cool. Good changes, I think. Another, significant change is that when Aika would under for Sayaka, for Yume no Dead Body, usually it'd be like Rururin, like taking place, or, subbing in Konosekai.
Which is Aika's normal unit.
Yeah.
But instead of using a Kenkyusei, they've started using Chuba.
Yeah.
Who is renowned for her singing, and now we finally get to see her sing live.
Yeah, it's actually really good. Like,
She's really good.
Like, I like Aika, but I mean, man, Chuba just blows her out of the water. I'm sorry to say that. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going on in the theater. Man, a lot of news. So
Anshu lost in the Wiz. There were the auditions for the Wiz musical, and Anshu was eliminated this round. Very sad.
Yeah.
But Ume-chan advanced. I have a feeling Ume-chan is actually going to be the one who is selected to, like, who's going to be cast as Dorothy for the Wiz, because she was in the audition the last time, and she was in the final round of the audition the last time. So I think the director already recognizes her and recognizes her talent.
I didn't see the episode. I heard people were kind of mad because Anshu's section was kind of cut out or is really short.
Oh, I didn't see it either. I just heard the news.
Yeah. I really wanted her to win.
Me too.
Oh, man. Okay. What else is there? Keila was spotted with Team N members again.
Again.
At Universal Studios Japan in Osaka. So I think it was Airi, Anshu, Sae, and Sadadan. They were all going out, and then they're all taking pictures, like having a good time. And then one of the pictures you see Keila just hanging out. It's like, oh man, she's still there.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad. Just more proof that Team M is really close with each other, and they have the real friendship.
Which is funny because Sadadan and Anshu weren't part of Team N when.
Yeah, that's true.
Ha. Okay. But that's cool. Like, one thing I like is that they actually don't censor her picture, so it's like, oh, she's still, like, alive.
Yeah.
And good.
Also, Team M, Momoka is in a drama.
Yes, she is.
And their details got released. The drama is about the Kobe earthquake that happened in the 80s. I believe it was the 80s.
Or the 90s? I don't remember. We don't live there. It's not fair.
No.
How are we supposed to know? Maybe it was
anyway.
Like 2000. I don't know. Anyway, so, like, I think it's I think the plot is about making a song for the Kobe earthquake or something like that.
Oh.
But Momoka is in it. It's actually going to come out next March, so there's a lot of time.
Yeah. And that's the reason she dyed her hair, isn't it?
I think that's what people said. That's the original reason why she dyed her hair.
And now she just does it for funds.
Which is cool. I like that they're letting her do that. Although she dyed it blue, they weren't too happy about that.
That's okay. I think it's cool. Anyway, tonight is the Jonkin tournament.
Well, we say that we're gonna publish this on Thursday, so by the time
so last night was the Jonkin tournament.
So by the time you listen to this, you'll already know the Jonkin results.
Who won? Let us know because we haven't seen it yet because it hasn't happened yet.
Well, I'm pretty sure we'll know by the time.
I know. I think it's gonna be Sayane.
And I hope it's Anshu.
Oh man, I hope it's Anshu too.
I really want to see her take the musical and the Jonkin and be like, oh man, this is truly the year of Anshu.
That would be cool.
Oh man. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen. So that'll do it for our news.
That is it for the news.
That's it for the news.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Now we're going to go to the Okonomi Talk.
Ah! No, it's... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, shoot, that's right. Okonomi Talkie.
You don't even know the names of the things.
Shoot!
Oh, gosh.
I mixed it up with Naru.
It's been so long. Oh, no. What are we going to do?
Okay, time for some Okonomi Talkie.
Okay, I don't have anything. Because DJ Soymilk's going to talk a lot.
About... Cue me. About Japan!
Ooh.
I went to Japan, as you know, that's why I wasn't here. Anyway, so when I was in Japan, I didn't go to any idol events besides one handshake, and that was enough for me. Like, I was just so overwhelmed and so giddy about it. That's like, I mean, I totally want to go to one again, and I want to go to one next year, but... So at the handshake event, I signed up for the handshakes back in February, so at the time, I still wasn't... Like, I still liked NMB, but I was a hardcore SKE fan at the time. So, most of my handshakes were with SKE members. And for that reason, I only have 2 handshake reports about NMB girls.
Yay!
And that's, yay! And that's because I used my 2 open tickets for them. Cause you can buy, open tickets that you can use on anybody who hasn't sold out yet. So it's just like, whoever you want to meet, go ahead, kind of thing. And I had 2, and I was planning to use them on SKE girls, but things changed, and interest changed. And Anshu called. So at the handshake event, I was kind of stalking the NMB side of the lines, really. I was checking out, like, who has a line and who doesn't.
Check it out.
And I was also creeping, like, unfortunately, the lanes are really long, so the closest I can get was about 50 feet. So it was hard to see, but I mean, I could see.
You even have the exact measurement of how far.
Well, I would guess. That's my approximation. So I could see, like, Milky, who's super cute, and Sayane and Fuchan. I saw Akarin and Kei. I couldn't see Nana, though. Like, she was blocked by lots of people. Anyway.
Also, she's short. But so are Milky and Sayane. Anyway, I saw Shu. She was cute. Okay. So, I was kind of checking out the lanes. And what they did was they grouped the members who had the longest lines all together in the front. So it was like Milky, Nana, Miru, Shiroma Miru, Fuchan, Shu, Sayaka. And then they had all the other members. And then in the middle of all the other members, they put Kei and Ripopo, who both had average-sized lines. I mean, Kei's was longer than Ripopo's was. But, man, the line for Milky was, like, incredibly long. And so was Sayane's. They were still shaking hands after everybody else had gone in for lunch. It was crazy. Anyway, so, and then poor Ririka, her line was, like, out in the middle of nowhere, away from everybody else's. I was like, you poor thing. So, my handshake report. The first NMB member I met was Koko-chan, and I went to her for 2 reasons. First of all, I really like her. She's my favorite draftee. I think she's super cute, and she looks like a koala, which is even cuter. But the other reason I decided to go to Koko-chan was because her lane was right next to Sayane's. Oh,
I said
goodness.
I said how they grouped all the Senbatsu together, but Sayane was the last one. And then after Sayane were all the unpopular members. And the first member after Sayane was Koko-chan.
Oh my goodness.
So, my Oshi feelings called. Because I'm a Sayane Oshi, as you probably have guessed.
Oshi hand.
Oshi hand, yeah, from my SKE Oshi. But, old news. Anyway, so, because I really wanted to get closer to Sayane, because from 50 feet away, I couldn't really make out her face. No, okay, it sounds so creepy, oh my god. But, so
it also is creepy.
Well, it's like YOLO, once in a lifetime kind of feeling.
We're also lucky you're a girl. Like,
yeah.
I was talking about, like, oh man, like, I got in that line just so I could see her face.
Okay, yeah, that's so creepy, oh my god, I'm sorry. Anyway,
Double standards.
So I go up to Koko-chan's line, and there's nobody else in her line. So I should have just been able to walk right up to her, but I was trying to walk, like, really slow so I could, like, keep taking glances at Sayane. But
oh
then,
my goodness.
but then I felt really bad because she could see me walking up, and then she could see me looking over at Sayane. So I was like, I shouldn't do this. It'll be too obvious what my real intentions are. But since I really like Coco-chan, once I made eye contact with her, I couldn't really look away because she was so cute. So I walk up, and once she sees me, I was like 20 feet away, and she's like, "Oh my god, a foreign white girl." And she blushed, and she put her hands to her cheeks, and then she looked over to the lane next to her on her other side, which was Take-sara, and Take-sara was looking at me too, like, "Oh my god, what are you doing here?" And they both started like giggling, like, "Oh my gosh." So I was like, wow, I feel special. Like I'm probably like the first foreign female fan. So I felt special. Anyway.
You are special.
Thanks! I am, aren't I?
No. Stalker.
So yeah, she's even cuter in person and looks even more like a koala in person. And I definitely go back. She was really calm. She had this like calm aura to her. Even though she was giggling when I walked up, like once I was shaking hands with her, something felt like really easy. So it was a nice it was a nice little handshake. I mean, she's
giggling.
Yeah, besides the giggling. She has like a kind of awkward expression, like her koala face, that's all I can call it. But it was like she was like really nice and gentle, and it was just pleasant. So yeah, I said, I read her Google Plus, so I was like, "Oh, I read your Google Plus." And she's like, "Wow, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're really cute posts, and you're really cute." And she's like, "Oh, thank you." And then I couldn't think of what else to say, because like the timer person was like, "Time's almost up." So I was like, oh no, what do I say? And so if I'd been like a little bit more calm, and I'd had a bit more, like a better state of mind, I would have been like, "Oh, teppen totande," but instead I was just like, "Ganbatte kudasai." I was like, I just kind of said it as I walked out because I couldn't think of what else to say. So
maybe if you stopped staring at Sayaka and you would have been
that's true. And as I was walking out, I turned and I looked at Coco-chan and she waved. I was like, and I waved, and then I turned to the other side and I looked at Sai and I was like, "Oh my god, she's so beautiful." No, seriously. And then she, like, when I saw Sayaka, she was shaking. She had both hands out, and she was like leaning over the table, like waving at the fan who was walking away from her, who had just had their handshake. Oh man, she's wonderful, and Coco-chan's wonderful, and that was just like the most wonderful moment of my life. But not really, but it was really wonderful. And yeah, so then I kept walking around the NMB section, and like freaking Momoka, she was sitting on this like little tiny chair instead of like standing behind the table. So all you can see, cause like the partition, the little wall thing, it's kind of high. It's like, I don't know, 3.5 feet. So she's sitting on this little tiny chair, so all you can see from behind the partition is her head. She's like reaching up over the thing, and like all you see is her pink head, like, or blue head. It was blue at the time, I'm sorry. So the freaking Momoka. And then the slot ended and they went to lunch, and as they were walking away, I was like watching them all walk in. And Milky walked in like 5 minutes later because she was still handshaking. And then she turns and she waves in my direction. I was like, "Oh, Milky might have just waved at me." But but since I was too far away, I couldn't see which direction she was looking.
Man,
but she waved in my direction.
You were so starstruck.
Dude, I was like blown away. They're all so beautiful in person. Like, they look beautiful in picture, but in person, you're just like, "Oh my god."
They also look good in Blu-ray, like at the Haru Con.
Gotta watch it. Anyway, so my second and final NMB handshake was with Anchu. You told me earlier that Anchu has a good reputation with girls, right?
I think she likes girls.
She likes girls.
No, I think it was, what is it, Zeroshiki that said that she's popular with girls too.
Yeah, and I can see why. She's really sweet. Okay, so Anchu is like mega pretty in person. Like, I knew she was pretty already, and a lot of people have been saying that, like, "Oh wow, Anchu's been looking really pretty lately," and I'm like, yeah, she is. But like in person, I was like, "Wow, you're beautiful." So, and then there were two other girls in her line ahead of me. So I was like, wow, that reputation of liking girls and girls liking her, it's true. So, okay, so I wrote down exactly what I said, so I'll read it. So I said, "Hi, I'm from America." And then I was so blown away, so I'm like, "You're really pretty." And Anchu was like, "Thanks, you're really pretty too." And I'm like, "Oh my god, Anchu just called me pretty." And then she's like, "I like your hair color." And I'm like, "What? Thank you." And then and then it was kind of awkward, because like she pointed at herself and she's like, "Anchu." And I was like, I pointed back, I'm like, "Anchu." And then afterward, I realized she probably wanted me to say what my name was, like point at myself and be like, "Emily." Oh shoot! Oh, I just revealed my name. Oh, that's okay. Anyway, now you know what my real name is.
Okay. Now I don't have to be I don't have to step around it so much.
Yeah, that's okay. Nobody's gonna stalk me that much ever. Anyway, yeah. So So yeah, then I realized she wanted me to say what my name was, but it was too late and I was already being pushed out. But she's super pretty, and then she said she liked my hair color. So if Anshu dyes her hair light brown, you can blame me if you don't like it.
Oh, I'll definitely blame you.
Just kidding.
Was she really loud?
I was so happy. She's so nice.
Was she really loud?
Oh my gosh. So that was my last handshake too.
Was she really loud?
Oh, was she loud?
Yes.
No, she was like a normal volume.
Wow. That is a surprise.
I mean, I guess she was louder than Coco-chan, and she was louder than, like, I also met, Iwata Karen, she was louder than Karen.
Okay.
But she's, like, the same volume as Furukawa Airi. I don't know if you know who Airi is, she's an SKE girl.
No.
Okay. Anyway, so, if you ever are in Japan, please go to a handshake event, because it'll blow your mind how beautiful these girls are, and how wonderful they are, and I just want to meet them every day. Man, I'm so creepy.
Yeah. I mean, like, I say there are lots of beautiful girls if you just hang out outside Shinjuku Station. Now that sounds really creepy.
No! They're, I don't know. Every girl's pretty. I just like girls.
Well, this took an interesting twist. Anything else you want to say?
No, I don't know. Oh, then the NMB Theater. So anyway, a few days after the handshake event, I went to Osaka, because the handshake event was in Yokohama. So I went to Osaka, and, I'm like, oh, I should go to the NMB Theater. Good idea, self. So I Googled it, like, so I Googled it, I'm like, okay, where's the NMB Theater? And it's like this obscure location whereas I went to the AKB and the SKE theaters, and they're right outside the train station, so I'm like, okay, I can do that. But then NMB Theater is like this obscure location, so I'm like, And I Googled, and I searched around the internet more, and I found some beautiful blogger who had made a step-by-step picture guide on how to find the NMB Theater. So what you have to do is you have to get off on Namba Station, take exit 3, walk through this little arcade thingy, take exit E5, walk through another arcade thingy, turn right in the middle of the arcade, and walk to the end of that alleyway. And there's the NMB Theater. So it was super confusing and complicated, but I found it. And there were like 3 guys standing outside where the staircase is, the staircase to go down to the theater. And they were talking about Yuri. They're like, oh, did you see Yuri? She's so cute. And I was like, whoa, Team N fans, because it was a Team N stage. So I thought that was cool.
Okay. I didn't think it was that hard to find. Then again, like, because when I went there, I just got in because I came from some other tourist destination, right? So I just came to Osaka, and I checked into my hotel, and I'm like, oh man, I'm hungry. My friend's like, okay, let's go eat. I'm like, okay, fine. Right, so he takes me to this place that has a tomato skimming.
Oh!
Right? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And we walk by the NMB Theater, and I'm just like, dude, I know you planned this, man. Like, this is probably why I want to get that tomato ramen, just so I can walk by the NMB Theater.
Well, tell the rest of the story about how they sat in every seat.
Oh, no, it's okay. We'll get to that later. Or
okay.
Maybe some other time.
Anyway, I saw it too.
It's already pretty long.
Shoot.
So.
Then we'll make the featured member short.
No, I'm just saying that, like, we gotta speed it up.
Sorry. Anyway,
it's already 12:30 a.m.
Oh shoot. Sorry, I'm still not adjusted to the time.
Yeah, I can tell. Anyway, so I don't know. One thing is that it's also, I think it's either next to or across the street from the Yoshimoto Theater, which is actually, well, I mean, it is a lot bigger than NMB, so.
Yeah, it's huge. I looked at the building, I was like, whoa.
And then also, just in general, is that, like, in Japan, like, that's how you find things. They're like, oh yeah, turn left at the pharmacy, and then turn right at, like Takahashi Auto Insurance. And like,
yeah. So, anyway, I found it, and you can too. And please go to a handshake event, because they are wonderful.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
For your Okonomi Talk.
Thanks for listening.
You didn't even talk about Okonomiyaki, which I bet was
Dude, I had Okonomiyaki twice. It was so good.
Yeah. Did you get the one in Hiroshima? No?
No, I didn't. I had Hiroshima style when I was in Tokyo. They were selling it like
but it's not Hiroshima style.
I know, but to be fair, I don't really like Hiroshima style.
Well, you don't know because you had it in Tokyo.
Oh.
Okay. That'll do it. That is the end of the Okonomi Talk section.
Now,
next section, Naru. This week's
featured
member is
Kawakami Rena.
Yay!
Udon, Rena
Pachi. 8.
She is 19 years old. She's a first generation member. part of the original Team M. She is from Kagawa Prefecture, which is on the small island of Shikoku.
Wow,
Well, small.
Relatively small.
Relatively small. It's the smallest of the 4 major islands of Japan.
Is it?
And
I thought Hokkaido was small.
no, oh my god, Hokkaido's huge.
I don't know.
Hokkaido's one of the least populated, though.
Okay.
No, Hokkaido's huge. It's the second largest.
All right.
It's bigger than Kyushu.
All right. Corrections for next show.
Anyway, so she's from Shikoku, and Shikoku as a whole, but especially Kagawa Prefecture, is known for its udon.
Yes.
I read something once and it said that people from Kagawa sometimes eat udon for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just like such a big deal there. I mean, that was probably an exaggeration, but I thought that was kind of a fun thing. Anyway, so about Rena. She's first gen, as I said. And why did she audition?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
That was like a rhetorical question.
Well, why would she join?
Well, according to 48pedia, like she auditioned for AKB because she was a fan of Mayu. Oh, because you liked AKB.
Oh,
and she was a fan of Mayu. And
yeah,
if you look at her, she looks like Mayu.
Yeah, you look at her and you can kind of see the Mayu. And also her signature hairstyle has become twin tails. Just like Mayu.
Old Mayu.
Old Mayu.
New
Cyborg Mayu.
New Mayu is kind of...
So anyway, I said she was part of original Team M, even though she's a first gen, and as you probably know, most of the first gen was on original Team N. So since she wasn't promoted with the rest of them to Team N, she and some other members formed Wing, and Wing was just a group of first gen who didn't get promoted to Team N, and included members like Okita Ayaka, who was the other ones? Natsumin.
What's it? Oh, Kinoshita Momoka. Also, Haru Mizuki, who was infamous for making a fuss when she left about how like they were kind of ignored.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah. They were all part of Wing. They wanted to do stuff like make videos and do radio shows together.
Yeah. Wasn't Haru Mizuki the one who was like, effort wasn't rewarded, and then Takamina was like, oh no, you didn't?
No, Takamina was like, oh no, you didn't, but like, I think she referenced Takamina or something, but...
No, she didn't. The Takamina thing came after that. That's why people are like, when did Takamina come up with this whole like effort will surely be rewarded? I'm like, oh, I know, it's because Haru Mizuki said it wasn't.
No. In Haru Mizuki's like exit speech, she said like like Takamina said effort will be rewarded, but I'm not
oh, you're right.
Anyway, so that's Wing, and then
they were all promoted eventually.
Well, her nickname's Rena-pyeon or Udon-chan, one or the other. We'll talk about why she's Udon-chan later. But,
well, let's talk about it now.
Wait!
Okay!
I wanted to say that she was promoted to Team N when it was created. And I know that doesn't sound like anything, but you think about girls like Koyanagi Arisa, who was also part of Wing, and she was the last to be promoted, and it was actually pretty late in the game. So, yeah, that's how she came to be an NMB, or part of the team. So now we can talk about her udon character.
Yeah, and what her character is when on part of the team. Being part of the team, she developed this intense udon character, because like we said, Kagawa is famous for its udon. So Rena took that and she rolled with it.
She did more than roll with it.
So it's really hardcore.
Downhill drifting with it.
She'll post and talk about how she's the udon princess from the country of udon. And her unit was Tengoku Yaro. Well, her second unit, because Team M started shuffling its units around. So when she was doing that unit, that song, usually the girls themselves get to decide what their outfit is, because it's a song about being a crazy person, kind of. Mm-hmm. And so her outfit was an udon cook.
Yeah. Her intro, she references udon. She says, I'm from the country of udon. I'm the princess of udon. Like, I'm not really a human, I'm actually udon, stuff like that. So she just actually keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, like her appeal video for Sosenkyo was her making udon. That's all she did in the appeal. Then she's like, oh yeah, vote for me.
Like, her character is actually, like, I mean, one of the analogs, I guess, one of the examples to her would be, like, Lemon, right? Like, Lemon always talks about, fresh lemon, ninaritai, and then, because Osaka then.
Yeah, now it's an N.
Yeah, but so that's kind of like a similar character, but Kawakami Rena is like way more intense.
Yeah, she's way more hardcore. Like, if you thought Lemon was intense,
she just doesn't stop with her udon.
Even she was on some. I saw some interview a long time ago. She was on there with Cow Cow, the comedian group, and like 2 other NMB members. They were doing an interview, and Kao's talking, and then they let Rena talk, and Rena starts talking about udon in the middle of this interview, and then afterwards, I guess Kao was like applauding her. They're like, "Wow, she's really serious. Like she's really."
I don't think that was a video, but there's actually an interview.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I said,
like
right?
a newspaper article.
Oh shoot! Well, I saw pictures too, so I must have.
Yeah,
I guess that's why I assumed
I think
video.
there was like a cooking thing or something.
Yeah, it was, and there was like on like Yahoo News, like what's with this udon girl?
Yeah, I think Momoka and
Momoko was there.
Kamiya Damika were there.
Of course.
Huh?
Nothing.
Of course. Okay, I guess. But yeah. So she brings her character everywhere. Like usually, if they would appear on some big show or something, like they would just, not use their character. They would just be like, "Oh, I'm from NMB" or whatever. Not Renapyeon.
That's what I mean with the Kao thing. So like she doesn't quit.
That was a good example. I almost forgot about that one.
Yeah, see, I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Maybe.
So anyway, so the thing about this udon character though is that a lot of people, well, some people find it annoying, and I think that's kind of off-putting for some people. But it's also off-putting for some of the members. Like they all love her and they're close. But they'll make comments like, "Wow, you're being really annoying. Like, shut up with this udon thing."
It's not like a legit thing. Like they're not.
No, they're not like
really,
actually mad at her.
Yeah,
it's just like a joke.
It's part of the whole udon character. So
it's like it's teasing.
Like we didn't mention her voice, but her voice is really high pitched, right?
Yeah.
So when she starts her intro, like everybody would be like, "Yeah, I'm from I don't know, Shiga-ken or whatever, right?" And then like here comes like Renapyeon. She's like, "Oh,
I'm from." Yeah, her voice is like
it's
3 octaves higher than everything else.
And it's like, oh my god, like people, like just when she says like like you already know like she's talking, right?
Yeah.
And so like when she does,
oh sorry,
when she does her intro, right? People are, the rest of the members are just like, all right, hurry up, move on.
Yeah.
Like that's her character. Like she just beats this character of udon to the ground.
But well, it's funny that you mentioned her voice because I remember on Google Plus like a year ago, Yuipon made a video where she was recording Renapyeon backstage, and she did something that annoyed her. So then Rena suddenly had a deeper voice, and I guess it turns out that's her real voice. Like Rena's real voice is a normal level idol girl's voice, but she just knocks it up 3 octaves for her udon character, and so I'm like, wow, this girl's impressive. She's really dedicated.
Like you know she's like playing like.
Well, it's like you can tell it's fake that she's messing. But the fact that she's so consistent about it, I think is one of the things that makes her stand out to me. Like, it makes her really memorable.
Yeah. Also want to mention that this character, like, everybody knows it's pretty bad. Like everybody, like the audience knows, the other members know, and she's expected to always bomb jokes and stuff. For a while she had this thing, right? Like if you go to a maid cafe and you ask them to put like ketchup on your thing, they do this little chant, right? Mm-hmm. So she would do like an udon chant, like randomly, like, "Oh, udon suru pecan," right? And it was usually like really bad. Like everyone would just like like look around awkwardly, and then like the guy at the theater would turn the lights out. Like that was like her thing. Wow. But then like people like got adjusted to it, so like she has to like find even more ways to be annoying.
She's funny.
When I went to 3rd anniversary, they actually did that at
oh really?
At Osaka Show Hall. Yeah, she like said, I think she did that, and like they just turned off all the lights. And I was like, oh,
wow,
man. Like it's one thing to do it at the theater with a capacity of like 500. It's another thing to do it at Osaka Show Hall where the capacity is like 8,000.
Only NMB. So yeah, I mean like and what was I gonna say? Well, yeah, it's funny. She's funny. Check her out. But I was gonna mention how determined she is, not just with her udon character, but like with her presence in NMB. I was watching this video of her, and it was for Kagawa, her home prefecture. It was a tourism thing, and she's like, "Oh, I want to be center of NMB." And maybe it was just sarcasm, but I kind of I got a feeling from the way she said it that she was serious in a way. Like she wants to be noticed, and she wants to be, maybe not senbatsu, probably, but she wants to have more visibility in the group. I got that kind of feeling when she talked.
Well, yeah. One thing, I mean, we always mention their hometown or their home prefectures because it's important. And she always did a lot of work in Kagawa-ken. They're kind of proud of her in the same way like Oita-ken is proud of Sashi, right?
Yeah.
So, Kagawa-ken used her for like the tourism promotion. I think she's like one of the representatives. Amon from the director from The Wiz. He was also from Kawakami.
Yeah. I read that too. He's also part of their promotion campaign.
Yeah, so I mean,
Well,
she's been doing work. She's been getting consistent work.
yeah, she is getting work.
It might not be the most glamorous of work, but she still gets work. So.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, it's not the kind of work that's visible with idol fans because that seems to get you pretty far. But, well, maybe not. But,
or is it?
Yeah, I know, is it? She did send her a song once. It was called Choto Nekoze, and it was a B-side from Virginity. Mm-hmm. Even though she's never been in Senbatsu, she did get to perform a solo song. She performed a solo version of Waruki called Warupyeon, and it was for the Team M concert.
Oh, the one in March.
Yeah, the one in March.
Yeah, okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool because, fun trivia, she's the only non-Senbatsu member. She's the only non-Senbatsu member to ever perform that song. There's been a handful of girls who have done it now, like Shu, Sayane, Sakura from HKT, but they've all been in Senbatsu of their groups. So I thought
Konomi.
Oh shoot, Konomi did it. I'm so sorry, Enoki. How could I forget about Enoki? Okay.
Jeez.
Corrections from the last episode.
I'm never wrong. I'm right all the
so
time.
sorry. How did I forget about Konomi? Oh, the shame.
Okay.
The shame.
So
I felt so good about that trivia too.
So speaking of Rena, right? She's done some stuff recently. I think sometime in March, or at least earlier this year, she appeared on Kanjani no Shiwake, which is hosted by Kanjani 8, one of the Johnny's groups. They had a competition last year. There was Murokana and Suda Akari.
Yeah, it was a flexibility competition.
Yeah. So this time it was just Udon or Rena doing this thing called YG, where she holds her leg up.
Yeah, it's like you might have seen gymnastics gymnasts or cheerleaders do it. Like you grab your ankle and you just put it up kind of over your head.
Yeah.
But she did it really well. She held it really well.
The competition was to stand on this really small pedestal, and then they would shrink the diameter of the pedestal for each round.
Yeah, while doing the YG pose.
And yeah, we call it, G is character in Japanese, so Y.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I know.
Not like YG, which sounds like isn't that like a Korean production or music?
Oh,
or something?
yeah.
No.
P.
Yeah. What up? But she kept her udon character even while doing this. God, I don't remember the guy's name. I saw a drama of his, but one of the guys from Kanjani 8 would just start yelling "Oh, let's go udon power!" and it's just oh my god, dude, he's totally into it.
That's really cute.
So that was earlier this year. She had her birthday, I think, on the 16th.
The 16th,
September. Yeah.
She has the same birthday as Natsumin.
Ooh.
Woohoo! Which caused a bit of a funny drama on Google Plus, right? Where Ayaka said "Happy birthday, Udon," but she didn't say "Happy birthday" to Natsumin.
Yeah.
So Natsumin was like, "What the heck? Me too."
Yeah, you can read about that on the Tumblr. It's there somewhere. Well, I was watching Natsumin's birthday stage just a while ago, and she's like, "Yeah, finally I get my first birthday stage by myself and not split with her." But so it was her birthday on the 16th, so that's when she turned 19. Coming up on the 20th on YNN, they're gonna broadcast a karaoke special.
Yep.
And she's gonna be one of the participants. I don't know
how's
how to
her
feel.
singing?
I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, I always thought she was kind of an average singer.
Because if you look at the rest, the rest of the lineup, it's actually there are people known for singing. So Aika's there, Chuba's there,
Chubes,
Rika's there, Yuppie's there,
and then Udon. Well, it's not that she has a bad voice; it's just that she uses her high-pitched Udon character voice.
We don't know. I'm really curious. If she's just gonna do some crappy parody song, or if she's gonna be legit good.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Check it out with us.
Well, not with us.
Well, with us in spirit.
In spirit. Oh, in spirit. We're everywhere in spirit because we love the community.
Oh. The Takoyaki Party never ends.
And that's the end.
Woo. Oh, shoot. I just said we never end.
It's the end of this section, the end of Kimi Honor section. So that's Rena. Very interesting character. We'll post pictures and stuff if you're interested in her. As well as, what else can we post about her?
Some videos, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I wanted to mention something, but we already ended the section, so too bad. Okay. When I tell you guys to email me, and I give you a theme, you don't have to email us with a theme. You can just send us random comments and suggestions and stuff. And so we got a few.
Thank you.
We got a few. I got an anonymous email.
Wow.
I'm gonna read that right now.
Dude, doesn't that make you feel famous when you get anons?
Well, I think the funniest part is the way it's written. But we'll go. It says, congratulations on this ongoing endeavor that'll surely expand your experiences and options and further what goals you dream and make true.
I don't know if that's sarcastic or not.
I don't know, dude. I feel like I just got my diploma or something.
Thank you, Anon, for making us feel proud of ourselves.
Thank you, Dean. He says, as a long 3-episode time listener, part-time Idol fan, and first-time writer, I'd like to ask, which graduated NMB member would you rather not have graduated? And why is it Hikawa Ayame? Fishing you all the best from someone.
That's really cute. That's a clever email. So is your favorite graduated member Hikawa Ayame?
Well, it's not that, like, I won't say, like, my favorite. For example, like, you know, like, I really like Rippy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it was her time to go. Like, she wanted to pursue fashion. Like, I can't say, hey, stay, because, like, I want you here. Like, she wanted to go. You gotta let her go.
True.
To me, the most, like, punishing graduations are the ones that, like, when people leave and, like, you feel like they should have accomplished more.
Ah.
So, for me, well, one name I'll toss out there that'll make everyone cry is Hironin.
Oh, no! For those who don't know, Nakagawa Hiromi was a second-gen Kenkyusei who performed so much in every stage, like every position. She learned them all. She was super talented and was always called upon. And then she graduated. Yeah. And I cried.
Yeah.
I didn't actually cry, but I was really sad.
I think when I was watching that Aika birthday for research purposes, she was there and I was like, oh, why did I do this to myself?
She was wonderful.
Yeah. She was, oh man, she was a big loss. She, like, if you follow Yamarina, who's, like, kind of the leader of or the Kenkyusei now, like, you could see a lot of similarities, like, between
definitely.
them. And it makes me sad. I'm like, oh man, she could accomplish so much more. Another one that I'm really sad to see leave was Yamamoto Hitomi.
Dude, I loved Hitomi. She was funny and cute. And that's like the first thing that draws me in with an idol, is the funny and the cute, and she had it.
Yeah, I was watching, the second season of Gainin again.
Yeah, oh man, she was so great on Gainin.
Like, the way she would, like, do her jokes, I think was, like, on a completely, like, other level than, like, everybody else. Like, she was, like, closest to being, like, a professional comedian, I think.
She was confident, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, it's more than that. Just, like, the way she walks, the way she acts, like, like, it was, I don't want to say it's confidence, it might have been, like, experience, but, like, whatever it was, like, she had it. And, like, when she I don't know why she graduated, but, you know, I see, like, a lot of potential that could have happened there.
Yeah.
With NMB.
Oh, man.
What about you?
Well, as you may know, I get really attached to Kenkyusei. I love them. I think they're adorable and they work so hard. And I just love Kenkyusei. So the ones I miss most are Togo Sora, who was a 3rd gen, and Ishihara Masako, who was a 4th gen. Yeah. And I don't know, huh?
I was gonna say, I have no idea who those people
Yeah, I know. See, like mine aren't really that significant, I guess. But I don't know, I like to watch Kenkyusei because I see potential, but I also see, like, normal girls working really hard. And for some reason, I just, like, it kind of pulls on my heartstrings. I'm like, oh, I'm rooting for you. And so I was rooting really hard for them, and then both of them left before they were promoted. Sora's was especially sad.
Wasn't she actually promoted, but then she left before they started?
No, she wasn't. She was one of the, she wasn't selected to be, since she was 3rd gen, they announced original Team B2, and she wasn't one of the 16, and she graduated the day after, and I was like, wow, that hurts. And she wrote this really nice letter, like, I wasn't sure if this would work out, or if this was something I should pursue. Both of her parents were doctors and, like, really, you know, well-educated people, and I always got the feeling she was pretty good at school, too. And that's what members said, like, oh, Sora comes from a good family, and she's really smart, and she's really good at tennis and stuff. And so anyway, so she's like, I wasn't sure if this was a good thing to pursue. And then I talked to my parents, and they thought that it might be best for me to focus on school too. And so I'm going to. I'm like, oh no. So that made me sad, but I'm glad to know that she's focusing on school, because if she really is smart, like the members said, then I'm sure she'll have a successful future.
Yeah. Well, good luck to her.
I know, she was really cute. She was really awkward. I always like the awkward girls.
I have, like, the NMB guidebook. I'm pretty sure she's in there.
Oh, sweet.
Oh well.
I saw a poster for the original, like, it was when I was at the NMB official shop, and it was introducing the 3rd generation. It had all the original pictures of all the 3rd generation Kenkyusei, and she was there. I was like, wow, Way to hit me right in the heart. At the NMB shop.
Alright, so those are our graduated...
Yep, that's my story. Please come back, Sora.
Calm down. Calm down. Well, now you're laughing. I don't know what to think now.
I'm laughing.
So we also got a comment on Tumblr. Guy says, anonymous. Ooh, another one.
Anons.
Hey guys, awesome podcast tonight. I think this is the Basugatsu Bakatsu one. He says, I got a topic suggestion for you to tackle in the next broadcast or whenever you're free. The topic I'm thinking of is foreign online perception versus reality, or maybe one where you discuss in depth a common critique or debate a misconception about the group. For example, a fan might say Manabu-kun is so boring, and yet contradictory to their opinion, the members have been rewarded for consecutive good ratings on the program. Ask for some opinions.
I thought that was a cool idea.
I think it's a cool idea, but I don't think we have, like, a good research base to really prove
No, we
that
don't.
wrong.
We can think about it longer.
Like, the most I can say about, like, Manabu-kun is that they finally got a sponsorship from Meiji, the candy maker. That's kind of a big deal. But, like, you know, just because I don't really know, like, I can't really crush any perceptions. Because, you know, we're here in California. We're not there.
Right.
It's hard for us to, I mean, I just read Matome sites, you know, that's all I can do. So, I like the idea, but I don't know if we can implement it.
What are some other misconceptions? I think there are misconceptions about the theater and like how much effort and work goes into theater performances and stuff.
I don't think there are any. I think people...
I don't know, like when you talk about AKB, they're like, oh, what are those, like, second and, like, this, they're like, people will name people like Kobayashi Kana, who's like a second gen AKB. It's like, what's she still doing? Like, why is she still performing in the theater? She doesn't have any, you know, there's no future for her in AKB. And I don't, there might be that some of that feeling in NMB too, like, oh, what's Yuppie doing? Yuppie doesn't have a future in NMB. Like, I think there's this feeling that a lot of people have that if you're not in Senbatsu after a while, what are you still doing being here?
Well, I mean, like, if you ask me that question, like, what's Yuppie still doing there? I don't really have a good answer.
Well, yeah, I guess Yuppie was probably a bad example. Or maybe she's a good example. Because it's like, we don't know. Like, we don't know what's going on in their lives. Like, why are they still in NMB? But the way I've always seen it, it's like, NMB is a career, and it's a job, and it's a steady job, and it's a reliable job. And you're always going to get that $50 or whatever from doing a stage show. So might as well keep doing it as long as they're not going to kick you out. Like, if if it's a job that you're enjoying, would you quit a job that you enjoy? Like, you can't really blame them. So that's the way I've always thought.
Yeah, well, we don't know. That's why
we don't know.
I kind of want to, you know, I mean, I do like the suggestion. I wish I knew stuff, but I can't crush any perceptions or anything like that if we don't have the information. Like, as far as Yuppie, like, I have no idea what she's doing. I know she plays with nanoblocks all the time.
Nanoblocks.
Yeah, like Lego.
Yeah, I know what nanoblocks are. I bought a nanoblock
you know,
before.
but like, I don't know, maybe other people don't know that they're like miniature Legos or whatever.
Yeah, they're like Legos but shrunk.
Which you can actually say is like real life Minecraft nowadays.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? It's also super hard because I have fat fingers.
Yeah. What, Minecraft?
No.
Nanoblocks. I don't know. Buy some tweezers. So thanks to that anonymous comment.
We also got 2 requests to do some sort of segment, maybe like Kini Naru or just Okonomi Talk on Jo and Chiho. For the Jo, it was asked for us to talk about her comeback and just a bit more about how she's doing now. And I'd love to because Jo's comeback has been pretty positive.
Yeah, I really want to say a lot about Jo.
Then let's do it in another episode.
Yeah,
because we talk a lot.
Yeah. Man, Jo, like, I think is super talented now. But, like, before when she was pushed, I was like, like, she's just there because she's cute or whatever, right? And she's, like, 12.
Yeah, but now you see it.
Now she's like, oh my god, dude. Like, how are they going to deal with that? So, Jo definitely a subject. The guy who asked for Chiho was actually Snowman81, Craig, our buddy Craig. Who we have to get our Okonomiyaki.
Dude, let's go have it soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe like next week or something.
Okay. Okay.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, you're getting crazy now.
I
would want to talk about Chiho. I don't really know her that well though. I know like you like her ponkotsu.
It's cute.
Yeah, but like that's as much as I know too. Now, one thing that was funny is like I was trying to look her up on like Matome, and people call her Air Mike because of the incident at V2 where she didn't bring the mic. Well, I just thought Air Mike was just like the funniest name though. I just thought of Michael Jordan. But that's not what his name is. It's Air Jordan, not Air Mike, but like I think Air Mike, and I'm like, oh dude, Chiho's like dunking on fools and stuff.
Anyway, shall we close out?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so you can send us those messages and comments. We'd love to answer them. You don't necessarily have to send us something that's steamed, so keep them coming. If you keep them coming, we're gonna keep talking a lot because this is the longest podcast we have recorded so far.
Holy crap! Remember when we thought it was gonna only be 8 minutes?
Oh my god. That is the end of the party. Please exit to your left and throw all your garbage into the receptacle.
Unless you're in Japan, where there are no garbage receptacles anywhere.
Except in your room. We are Takoyaki Party. You can find us on Tumblr. You can find us on Twitter. You can email us. We'll respond to everything.
And anything.
And anything. If I don't respond, then certainly Soymilk will. You know where to find us. That's it, right? Like, we don't have much to close out anymore. We talked about everything we needed to talk about.
Mm-hmm. We've talked a bit too long.
Yeah. I'm tired of your voice.
Tired of yours.
Yeah, I have work tomorrow.
Your mom's tired of your voice.
She is.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
I mean, like, I've been here for... Anyway.
Yeah, let's stop there.
Alright, so this is Takoyaki Party. I am Osaka Joe. I'm here with DJ Soymilk.
Woohoo! And now you guys know my real name.
This is the end of the podcast, so...
Bye-bye!